Hey, what is going on, everyone? Well, I'm so glad that you have took your time to spend with me right here today on the MRB Wrestling Review Show. I am your co-host, Mike McRock Wilson, and I just got my ear syringed. I know I'm going off topic, but hey, what the heck. Anyway, last night was WWE Monday Night Raw. It was actually a pretty good episode last night, and what I liked about it is that they're really boiling up this thing with Vince McMahon and Triple H, however this may lead, and I think SummerSlam is a turning point for this particular issue with Stephanie McMahon, Triple H, and the boss himself, Vince McMahon. And while Vince McMahon was attempting to give Daniel Bryan a makeover, with the suit and the trying to shave his beard, etc., etc. And then after, we see Triple H in the back, and he talks about that he is done with Vince McMahon running this place. But in the same time, he's kind of endorsing Vince McMahon to say that he was good at one point, but now it's just, we're at a point now where we need new blood, we need a new owner, and it's like, something's going to give, right? We know this power struggle has been going on. Even after Vicky Guerrero has not been the general manager of Raw, and now Brad Maddox is in that turmoil between Vince and Triple H, and I don't know if that's a good position for Brad Maddox to be in. However, I do like Brad Maddox as the general manager, but I feel that the ownership of the WWE is going to fall in the hands of either Vince McMahon or Triple H, and I think this rivalry between them is going to be a turning point at SummerSlam, and it could come all full force at WrestleMania. Until then, we'll see what happens on Monday Night Raw. Also last night, Rob Van Dam defeated the World Heavyweight Champion Alberto Del Rio. The only thing I'm curious to see what's going to happen now, because there's 2 more SmackDowns and 1 more Raw before SummerSlam, I would rather see Alberto Del Rio face Christian for the world title instead of a triple threat match, because, we know that usually when someone gets a pinfall victory over the world champion, we know he's next in line. So I would rather see Rob Van Dam get a shot after WrestleMania as opposed to a triple threat match involving Rob Van Dam. So with that being said, I'm happy with Christian. I like that he's in a good place right now, and he's going up against Alberto Del Rio for the World Championship, but in the same time, he's been in the WWE for so many years, and I think this is his one more match, and it don't matter if he wins or loses that match. That is it for Christian. I think, in my opinion, that is it for Christian, and this is the match where he kind of does need this win, but in the same time, he don't need to win because he's been with the WWE far too long, and I think that right now Alberto Del Rio is the one gaining the benefit from Christian. I think what's happening is that Christian is going to make Alberto Del Rio even more villainous, and I'll get to Del Rio later on this review. Also last night, Cody Rhodes called out Damien Sandow, and this whole thing with, the briefcase, he found it, and he took it out. It was all wet, WC stuff leaves hanging off the briefcase. And, the wire comes out, and there you saw the piece of paper, etc., etc. The whole thing is, it was good. I'm looking forward to the match, but after last night on Raw, it lost its momentum. Really lost its momentum, and I think that they could have went somewhere more. But in the same time, like I said, there's 1 more Raw, 2 more SmackDowns. And I'm still hoping that something still gives in this rivalry. Like I said, I like that this match is going to happen. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's just lost momentum. That's all I'm saying. Also last night, Mark Henry defeated Ryback via countout after Ryback, I should say, walked away. I'm just going to make this short and sweet. Stop crying Ryback. Don't walk away. And it's amazing how he went from November to now Whoa. I mean, what the hell happened with Ryback? I'm just going to leave it at that. Really, I am just going to leave it at that. Also last night, Luke Harper and Eric Rowan defeated Tons of Funk. And then shortly after, we see Bray Wyatt cut a promo. And then we see Kane up in the Titantron. And he alluded to that Bray Wyatt is going to be surrounded in a ring of fire or something along those lines. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? SummerSlam, Kane, Bray Wyatt, Inferno match. It might happen. Who knows? But if that's the direction that WWE is going to go, I'm all for it. I could see Bray Wyatt's beard get, flames of fire on it or something. And I think that's the direction that they should go. In an Inferno match, Bray Wyatt and Kane at SummerSlam. The match itself, I think, will happen. The Inferno match is a good possibility. They alluded it. And if they allude something on the WWE, odds are they're going to make it happen. Also last night, Layla defeated Caitlyn. And we see this whole thing with, AJ and Caitlyn. And I'm glad that, we see this because, it beats that AJ is not running through the locker room, of men to put them together and then break them up after. It's recycled story, one after the other and after the other. So I like that she's with a diva and in the Divas division. And I'll also get to AJ later on. Also last night, Christian went one-on-one with Heath Slater. 3B actually looked not half bad. Christian gained the victory over Heath Slater. And like I said before, Christian, he might win it, he may not. But with all that being said, this is his one more match with Alberto Del Rio at SummerSlam. Also last night, CM Punk faced the Intercontinental Champion, Curtis Axel. And it went to a no contest because he tried to get Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar came out, etc., etc. They get physical, stuff like that. Well, if you saw Raw, you know what happened, right? So, with all that being said, in the backstage segment, we see Paul Heyman, Curtis Axel, and Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar says, "Paul, say something stupid." I totally lost it. That was just one of those weird, awkward, you wouldn't expect moments from Brock Lesnar, even though he's a guy you shouldn't give the microphone to. That little statement alone, Paul says something stupid. It's a toss-up between weird and not half bad. It's weird. But it came off as unexpected, so kudos to Brock Lesnar for surprising the hell out of me. And with that being said, next week we're going to see Paul Heyman go one-on-one with CM Punk on Monday Night Raw. It'll be the last Raw before SummerSlam, and I think, that Paul Heyman is not going to get physical with Punk. I think this is going to be a shenanigans match throughout. This has shenanigans written all over it. And I think, with that being said, odds are you're going to see both Curtis Axel and Brock Lesnar show up on Raw next week and just manhandle CM Punk. And not only that, it's really a 3-on-1. You got them two, and you got Paul Heyman, emotionally attacking Punk. And then, you got Brock and Axel physically attacking CM Punk. And the more you put pressure on the babyface, the more the fans will root for you, cheer for you. And that's the direction that they're going, and it's off the charts amazing. And at SummerSlam, that is the match I am most looking forward to. And I can't wait to do my prediction video of what I think will happen at SummerSlam at that match between Brock Lesnar and CM Punk. And I got a feeling Paul Heyman's going to play some major role. You never know with Paul Heyman because he's a slime sleazeball, to say the least. Also last night, Fandango went one-on-one with the returning Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston looked great. He defeated Fandango with the Trouble in Paradise. And he looks good right now. I don't know the direction they should go with Kofi Kingston. I mean, right now, okay. you return a superstar, you gotta go somewhere with it, right? I would put him in a title hunt, maybe Dean Ambrose or Curtis Axel. I think I would rather see Kofi Kingston face Curtis Axel because, we already seen the history between Kofi and Dean Ambrose for the US title, and he's already been there. Even though Kofi Kingston has been the Intercontinental Champ, I would like to see a rivalry between Kofi Kingston and Curtis Axel for the IC title. And with that being said, Fandango, his momentum, it's just tarnished. It is pretty much almost the same as Ryback's, even though Ryback is just totally lost everything. They don't know the direction Ryback is going to go, and he's just went. That was the worst part of Raw. Was Ryback. Week after week after week, Ryback sucks. And with the exception of Fandango, at least they put Fandango in these positions to lose matches, without being being a cryback, so to speak. So with that being said, even though Fandango is losing his momentum, at least he's not going in the direction of Ryback, but he's almost there. And I don't think that he should be in that situation. He should be in a championship match, Intercontinental, United States, whatever. Even though there's two heels as champs, Fandango should be almost there, and they're not going in that direction with Fandango, and that's the sad thing about it. Also last night, the Real Americans defeated the Usos. And, I don't mind, tag team matches. I think that the Real Americans could be in line for the tag team titles eventually. It's just that odds are when it will happen. I think this will lead up to a possible triple threat match. Who knows yet, but we'll see. Also last night, Biggie Langston defeated Dolph Ziggler. What I liked is that, Dolph Ziggler is good. No doubt about it. He came in, he wrestled, and the only thing I didn't like is that Dolph Ziggler broke up that thing between AJ and Caitlyn. And that's kind of like out of character. He should be the show off. He should be going after Biggie Langston, and he kind of got involved with AJ. It looked like he was trying to care for AJ or something, or trying to break the two of them up. Well, I guess because he wanted just to face Biggie Langston one-on-one, and I think this is and that's the only thing I didn't like about Dolph Ziggler, is that he kind of went out of character, breaking up Caitlyn and AJ when they came in the ring, and the match continued, and then Biggie Langston got the victory. And it's kind of leaning up to this mixed tag team match at SummerSlam. But I'd rather see, one-on-one matches, AJ and Caitlyn, Biggie, Dolph Ziggler. And I think that's the direction where they should go. But I think this is all leading up to a mixed tag team match. I don't like it. I'd rather see one-on-one matches. And the main event was the WWE Champion, John Cena, Daniel Bryan, and Randy Orton. And they defeated the United States and the WWE Tag Team Champions, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and Dean Ambrose, The Shield. What I really, really liked about that match was Randy Orton. Randy Orton, in my opinion, was the winner of the show, and I'll tell you why. We see Randy Orton. He RKO's John Cena. Before that, he RKO'd Daniel Bryan. And, either or, right? And then we see, Randy Orton go for the briefcase. And I like that he didn't rush to, cash it in. He, waited for, the opportunity. He looked at John Cena where he was to. He looked at Daniel Bryan where he was to. And then he saw the Shield come back in the ring. And went out. Randy Orton's being the snarly guy on Raw last night, and I like it because he's got that briefcase in hand, and you just never know what's going to happen. And I like that he was like walking in a brisk, slow pace, looking at the Shield, attacking Daniel Bryan, kind of going up the ramp, and you hear that reaction from the fans. It's like seeds planted, you know, with this whole thing with Randy Orton cashing in this Money in the Bank. And here's the interesting thing about this now. SummerSlam, Randy Orton faces John Cena. Here's the interesting thing. If John Cena were to win the WWE Championship match at SummerSlam and Randy Orton cashes in, I got a feeling the majority of the audience is gonna cheer for Randy Orton. Because, you know, there's a lot of fans that don't like John Cena. And with that being said, if Daniel Bryan were to win the WWE Champ and Randy Orton cashes in on Daniel Bryan, he's going to get a lot of boos. He's going to get a lot of heat from the fans because they are all 100% behind Daniel Bryan going into this championship match. So it's going to be very interesting to say the least. And hopefully now SummerSlam will be an excellent pay-per-view. I'm really looking forward to this. One more Raw, 2 more SmackDowns. And with that being said, I'm looking forward to the show. And that was my review of Monday Night Raw. I'm your co-host for the MRB Wrestling Review Show, Mike McRock Wilson. And to all you viewers watching, get plenty of rest and always do your best.